Hello there, and welcome back. So now let's move to the third iteration, the most complex one, the one that you need to do those splitting. We already did it in 2D, so pretty much it's the same. Remember the video description, you have the link to download the case, will be V3, okay? Also, let me rename, I don't want to modify that. So basically, this is what we have. So the steps are pretty much the same and in 2D, but now we're 3D, remember? We have that extrusion. So here you can follow my workflow. What is important is this step. Remember, you have the split operation, and here you're going to have the two individuals here that they are separated. So, also I have the faces. Let me hide the faces. Okay, so you have this one, outer and inner. You can follow here the steps by feature 3. So that, as you can see here, this one, I think I use the less possible number of operations. So you have this one, okay? You create the face, then the extrusion of that one. And in this one, you have the internal part, that block, and then you split those two bodies you split, and you get this. Okay, so the important thing here is this split. Something also that I want to show you now, that you can have that shared topology. Okay, you can see, so in this case we don't need it, but we can identify that. We can see that we have something there. So you select the whole body here. I recommend you also to hide the faces. Go into inspections, check share surfaces, and there you go. So you don't see here, but it's red. Actually, there you see. That red there is the share surface. Automatically, it's going to identify there. So you want, let me go here. I will call it shared. So I will. Okay, so this, you are not going to have it in your original case, but you can repeat it. I want to stress, you don't need it, but let's save it. And I want to show you something, okay? So this is not going to make your meshing different. Everything works in exactly the same way. So now we created the shaded face, extra step. Okay, let me save it, it's TMP. Okay, so, and now you move to mesh. Okay, exactly the same. Here in meshing, the steps. Okay, so let's take a look at the mesh. There you go. So I have everything. I don't see here the share faces because I need to import update everything, but as you can see, it doesn't have an influence. Okay, you will need to create the new group if you want to export it. Okay, which I will show you. So the steps are exactly the same. We go here, well, not exactly the same as we did in 2D to the equivalent one in 2D. So edit mesh, remember, you select everything. Split 1-1, extrusion 3D, like we have done so far, one extrusion here, one segment, and then you create your submeshes, okay? In the submeshes here, look at that, now we have two different groups. Very interesting. And here, yes, the ordering, it is important. So let me show here that, see that first generate submesh 2, which will be the finer one. So basically what is happening here, first generate this one, and then the other mesh will be connected to this small size. However, if you choose the other ordering, the large element of this mesh will be connected to the small. Let's test that to show you. So here, what I was mentioning here, yes, it is important, the ordering, okay? But you get the idea, no? I think go here, edit, select your minimum, maximum values, everything, the surfaces. No, this is the outer face. Also, you can add local sizes, everything. Now, if you are using the next-gen hypothesis, the one that I like to use, here you don't add the boundary layer hypothesis because that belongs to the inner one, the second one. So let me go here and see here that you add it. proceed exactly the same way. So let's do something, clear mesh data, and let me change submesh priority. So this one up, apply and close. Let's see if it works. Sometimes it crashes. I know. Let's see. Compute. And let's get a result. Hopefully it's not going to be too long, or things that it's taking some time. And there you go. And as I told you, look at that. Here is uni for the outer, and now it's going to match the inner, and these are the, there you go, you get those ugly cells there. What you can do, remember that you have the chair here. Well, you can access that chair, shaded face, and add a finer local refinement there, okay, to control that there. But also you will need to play with the order of priority of the meshes. Okay, so now let me go here and change mesh priority. This should be the correct priority. So as you see, you need to generate everything. Now, clear and compute, I always recommend to do that. And let's wait for our nice mesh. And there you go. So you have all your cell count here. And at this point, just go nuts. So you want to add a body of influence here. Put that body of influence there. Okay. And it can be, you know, look at that. You have two different bodies. That body of influence also can cover the two bodies. So but you will need to do two selections. But yeah, it's very flexible, fantastic. Honestly, I'm starting to like it. It's getting very powerful, very friendly, in my opinion, as soon as you understand a little bit the logic. And yeah, you can do very powerful things. The only thing that I have an issue is that if you have large meshes, it can be very slow. The next gen, because it doesn't work in parallel. You have the G mesh that it works in parallel, but doesn't give results as good as the ones that you get with next gen. Something to point out. Here you go in properties. No properties. The mesh dimensions, you have to preferences, sorry. By default here, I think it's going to have 500,000 here already augmented. I put it to 5 million cells. So if you reach this number, it's like analogy to Snappy that you have something similar. It's not going to add more cells. So you know that you have something super fine. Just put there the elements, the number of elements that you need. Okay, so now actually this is interesting because I cannot add more than 100 million. Oh yeah, right there, 100 million. So it's up to you. Okay, so let me defaults. Okay, now. Okay, so yeah, let me put default. So yeah, the default is 500,000. So I put it to 5 million. So it's up to you. So to show you, okay, the shaded faces. So you can import here. So if for any reason you go back, you modify your geometry, you have a new face, and you can see here, you can close. You close it here, reopen, and sometimes it will add it, but you can also add it manually. So you have meshes, and you create group. Okay, so it is a face group. I would call it share. It is on geometry, and it is in this. Did it? Why is not selecting that? Okay, face. Okay. I know, for whatever reason. Apply. And there you go. Now you have that chair face. There is no problem with that chair face. Also, you can export the volumes. So here also you can see, but you can, the inner and outer volume, it can be exported as well. But in OpenFOAM, talking about no semantics of OpenFOAM, you can split everything using this chair face, and you will have that. So now you go export here, override, I have my clean case here. And this is it. And look at that here. Face on share. You have it. No problem. Remember, edges, they are going to give you problems. Check mesh. Perfect. So you have one region. If you want to have two regions, you use the share face to split everything and you get an idea. But if I want to do sliding meshes, how do I do it? Well, I already gave you a solution, but I'm going to prepare now a video to show you, but you already have the solution there. Paraview. Apply. And there you go. And yeah, there you have the face on. Share. Voila. Beautiful. Fantastic. So this point, also remember what else, just to end now. So this is the series of the 2D case. So yeah, so I received some requests that add a second cylinder. I'm not going to do it because you get the idea. Just go back to your sketch, put it there, you parameterize. But you really want to do it, to see it, just you have the comment section there. Just send me a comment and probably I will create it. But it's very straightforward. Since here also that you have info, you have quality. So what else? Where do I have the quality display entity now? Oops. Oh, here. Import. No. It was supposed here show update, remesh, create. Okay, overall mesh quality, mesh information. So if you want to know everything, you can have all that data here. You have back quality cells also, you can see theirs according to your criterion. Also, we visited this in previous video, the quality of the mesh. So actually, let me go here, display, it will be controls. Also, you have this free nodes, area, warping volume, all this stuff you can visualize, okay? So you have now the internal quality controls, metrics, you can go also paraview, you can also go to the check mesh or whatever software you use. Now every software will have something different. So yeah, pretty much this is it. So remember, if you want something more specific in this one, like the 2 cylinders or parameterization, let me know. I can do it, but I think it's very straightforward. So at this point, thank you for your attention. As usual, you have the comment section for your comments if you like it. Perfect, you didn't like it. As we usually say, we don't take negative feedback now. Yes, we take it. So feel free to say whatever you didn't like or whatever you like. So that's all. Thank you very much and see you next time. Bye.